Hello everyone and welcome back to Quaros Reptile Park, my little mini zoo entry for the BroNation quarantine mini zoo competition here. And as you can tell by what I'm building in the time lapse and the title and maybe even the thumbnail, I'm not sure, I haven't taken the thumbnail picture just yet. I'm building a zip line that goes over a crocodile exhibit. So yeah, unfortunately the first tower bit, the one that you see on the right there, I didn't record in the time lapse. I don't really remember why. Maybe I just forgot to record. But yeah, I still got quite a lot of time lapse footage we can see here. I think there's like 15 to 18 minutes that I can talk over. I don't know. We'll see in 15 to 20 minutes time. But anyway, before we go on, I just want to give a shout to Mr. Gomez, who, if you're looking on the rope, there is a little guy on there, and that is a modified version of Mr. Gomez's Archer. So if you're new to the Planet games, in Planet Coaster there was this Archer animatronic that was roughly the same size as the guest. So what players used to do is, to make sure your buildings are all in scale to people size, you would put down the Archer and see if it just made sense proportionally to a normal person. And so what we did here, what Mr. Gomez did here, is he copied the same design for the Archer out of art shapes, and that's just what we use that now in Planet Zoo, as to kind of make sure everything's in scale. And you've probably seen in a few of my builds I've used it here and there. It's really useful to make sure I'm not building something too big or too small, because to actually get guests or staff members in the game, it's a little bit tricky, especially if I'm not placing down paths. So to just plop down a little artificial person, it kind of helps. Yeah, so I modified him there a little bit to make him look like he's sitting on one of our little zipline chairs with a little harness on, all angry looking. But anyway, I think Rudy Renkamel made a zipline adventure for Koali Zoo. So yeah, that's actually quite what am I saying? That was actually quite useful, because I kind of stole his idea for the design for the harnesses made out of those brackets, I believe. Yeah, those little, I don't know what brackets are supposed to be. It's a type of bracket, very versatile object. I use it for a lot of stuff. And then also use that little pulley object that he used. I'm honestly not too sure what else you could have used for the pulley, because it's I think it's a pulley object. I'm not sure what exactly it's called, but you'll maybe see it a little later when we do the walkthrough. I'll show you. Yeah, but my actual inspiration for this, to do a zip line going over the crocodile exhibit, is that when I was starting this whole park, I was looking at some reptile parks for reference, and I came across, I think it's called, Croc City, which is a crocodile farm here in Johannesburg. And what they have is they have a zip line that goes over 3 different Nile crocodile pens. So yeah, each different pen holds crocodiles of different ages, and I think there's like a stop between each pen. So you'll zip line over one exhibit, stop, then zip line over another. I think that's how it works. I don't know. I haven't actually been. I know some of my cousins and stuff, they've been, but yeah, the last time I was at Croc City, I've only been there once, was for in 2008. I think I had a birthday party then. So yeah. But anyway, copied down their little zipline idea. I think there's also a place in the United States of America. There's a place. It's not just one zipline. It's like a whole aerial adventure thing. I don't remember what the place is called, but it's not just like I said, zip lines, and also those rope bridges and wooden planks you walk across, like a whole arboreal adventure thing. I'm not too sure what they're called, but yeah. So those are the only 2 places I could find on the internet, at least, that had a zipline of a crocodile exhibit. So yeah, if you watched last episode, I mentioned it a little bit that I couldn't really put saltwater crocodiles or saltwater crocodiles wouldn't work for this zip line thing, because what I wanted was a lot of crocodiles. If you're zip lining over a crocodile exhibit, well, I mean, I guess it's scary to zip line over like maybe 1 or 2, but if you have like 10 crocodiles in this exhibit, it makes it a lot scarier. So saltwater crocodiles wouldn't really work because they're solitary crocodile species. You can only have, I think, maximum 2, and even in that case they have to be a breeding pair, and I don't want to fill up this massive space with just 2 crocodiles. So my initial idea was to maybe make it split into 2 exhibits, one for saltwater crocodiles and another for gharials, but then I feel like you'd pass over one of the exhibits just as you started, so you wouldn't really get to see it. So what I decided to do was just pretend that the saltwater crocodiles are mugger crocodiles. So yeah, my initial choice was either mugger or Nile crocodile. So yeah, and they are a lot more sociable species. Obviously in game they're still saltwater crocodiles. I'm just pretending that they're a more sociable species of crocodile. Oh yeah, and as you can see in the back, what I'm building there is a little store, like a little store. Yeah, it would be a storage area where the staff would keep all the harnesses and the pulleys. What the idea is, if you want to go on the zip line, you would go over to the stall and buy a little ticket, and then you can able to go on the zip line. Then you go over to the tower station on the opposite side, and there they have some harnesses and pulleys stored up there. They'll strap you up, and then you go up and you go on the zip line, and then you go down, give them the harnesses, and they'll put it back in this little shed. And then I imagine, because I do have I don't think I showed in the time lapse, there's a little station I have there where that stores harnesses and pulleys, but I feel like staff are just gonna have to, like, every now and again staff are gonna have to go and restock the pulleys on the little stand there. Oh yeah, and I add a cool little braking mechanism, so you're not going in too fast, because that's what you need in the zipline. I use those new bamboo rope coils, as well as some switches to act like those little grey boxes you're seeing on screen now. Okay, and now I'm working on the actual crocodile exhibit. And like I said before, I am pretending our saltwater crocodiles are mugger crocodiles, because saltwater crocodiles, yeah, they're very aggressive. They don't like being close to each other. They don't kind of swarm up together like mugger crocodiles or Nile crocodiles do. So yeah, I'm just pretending that, yeah, the crocodile I have here, the saltwater crocodiles, are more sociable, more friendly with one another, and welfare is also, I think deaths are disabled, so they really shouldn't kill each other. I don't know if I disable fights or not, but I haven't even seen them fight with each other, so yeah, I guess it kind of works out. Although in-game, they probably wouldn't be happy. I think the in-game statistic actually says you can only have 2 of them together, and in that case even has to be male and female, because they would be a breeding pair. So yeah, what I do is I only get female crocodiles, because what I want to do is, because the females are a bit smaller, so I guess the size would be a bit more believable, that it's more like mugger crocodiles. And also I want it to look like these are kind of maybe like all siblings, because I know my local zoo, Johannesburg Zoo, what they have is they have one small crocodile exhibit which has one really old female, and then they have like a really big crocodile exhibit which has like, I don't know, between 10 to 20 crocodiles, and they all hatched at the same time. When was that? I think like 15 years ago they all hatched, so like all of them would be 15 years old. They're all roughly the same size. So I'm kind of going for the same idea here. They all kind of, maybe just one batch of crocodiles that came up. Ooh, and a little cool thing here, I'm putting a little waterfall at the end, and here on the side it just adds a little extra detail. It looks like a little switch box, so if anyone wants to turn off or on the waterfall, or just want to do something, and then I add this little thing at the back here, so yeah, people can come and maintain it. And I add a little pathway, so to get over you would have to climb over one of the wooden railings, I think, on the other side of the zipline building, but I guess it would be pretty rare that you actually need to come and do maintenance on this. They don't, yeah, you wouldn't build it for it to be constantly maintained. But anyway, get back to the crocodiles. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, another thing with the crocodiles, I was initially considering building them an indoor part of the exhibit, but it took up way too much space, and trying to have the indoor parts, it would have been too close to the zip line, so it just kind of ruined the flow of the zip line, I guess. So what I decided is like have it all outdoors, because you in some places you can have them all outdoors. I guess this would be a bit more of a warmer climate area, so you can keep the crocodiles all outside. I know Johannesburg Zoo, they have an interior for like the exhibit I described earlier, the one with all the younger crocodiles. They have an interior part that they keep them in the winter. They don't let them go outside. And then the larger female crocodile, she kind of has a little cave with heat lamp in, so she can keep warm in the winter. But then Croc City, like I mentioned earlier, they also in Johannesburg, they keep all their crocodiles outside. They have a lot of crocodiles, so I can't imagine they have any space to keep them indoors. And they just keep them all outside. So I guess even in a similar area, you can choose to keep your crocodiles inside or outside. It's just there's a much bigger risk of them freezing to death if you keep them all outside. Like I know Johannesburg Zoo's probably the biggest cause of crocodile death is they died in the winter of the cold. They used to have a big old male that used to be with the female. He actually lived in the zoo before the female got there, and I think one winter the cold kind of got to him, or maybe disease that came there. But it's a risk that comes with the winter. So I'm guessing this is just a big tropical area, and the winters aren't even that cold. But yeah, and the what's this? The pool I'm doing here. I initially start doing this little plaster thing I do. If you watch my Pygmy Hippo exhibit, you would have seen I covered the entire pool with these plaster pieces to look like it was a neat little concrete patch there, a nice little artificial pool. But instead what I do here is afterwards I decide, I want to try something different. I don't want to do plaster. I don't want to do this neat little plaster, and also the plaster takes quite a bit of effort to put in. So what I decide to do is use rocks instead. So these rocks, they wouldn't be actual rocks that brought in, those would be like formed concrete used to make, it's like what's the words I'm looking for? It's made to look like rocks, artificial rocks. Yeah, so Johannesburg Zoo's Crocodile Exhibit, it's all kind of formed concrete, but to make it looks like rocks, but it's not actual rocks. And that's what I'm doing here, kind of doing that. And then the bottom floor I still keep as plaster, so it looks a bit more artificial. Yeah, and I think it actually turns out quite decent, and it's a little bit easier to do than putting the concrete or the plaster pieces to look like smooth concrete all along the sides there. Oh yeah, I did cut away because I don't want most of this time lapse to be me just placing rocks. Oh yeah, and I had this little double fence on here, so there's a fence to guest view, and then there's a secondary fence, so just in case anyone's being dumb and they accidentally fall over the fence, they're still safe. There's still a secondary fence that they won't be in the actual exhibit with all the crocodiles. A little bit more safer there. Ooh, and this little circular area in there, I was initially planning on having that being my reptile show area, and I did start some of it. I don't have it in the time lapse, but it don't really look as nice. It kind of blocked too much of the view, so what I ended up doing is just having that as a walkway with a big circular planter in the middle, which I don't show in the time lapse because yeah, I felt kind of stumped. My initial plan was to have that as a show area, and then when that didn't work out, I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do right here. So I cut some of the footage and did everything else off camera because I wasn't really too sure of myself. But in the end, everything turns out, it looks a bit decent, I think. So yeah, and just interesting fact about the mugger crocodiles. They are native to the Indian subcontinent, but just they are the first recorded case of reptiles actually quote-unquote using tools. So what they do is that they sometimes balance sticks on their heads and while they're in the water, and what happens is birds looking to build nests will go after those sticks and not knowing that it's on a big old crocodile and get munched up. So yeah, I guess that counts as tool use. Not sure, maybe just each case that's being recorded in, a stick accidentally goes on the crocodile's head, but still I think it's quite a cool little factoid there. And I believe the time lapse is coming to an end. Like I said, I didn't record all of it because at the end I was feeling a bit stumped, so I just didn't record because that puts a little bit more pressure on me. But we will go do the walkthrough right now, and you can see all the little extra details and stuff that I added up close. So let's go and see that now. Okay, welcome to the walkthrough portion. As you can see, I have let the guests in again. Still feels like there's a lot more guests in here than what would realistically be, but whatever. I can't really do much about that. Before we go and see the crocodile exhibit, I have added a planter over here. I still need to do some work on doing some plantings and stuff here, which we'll get done next episode. Yeah, I think I might tinker with this plant a little bit. I maybe add some of the bamboo in to it so it doesn't add as big a contrast between the two. But yeah, then this planter here, I think I'll leave the same. We have a big old circular planter. These are just the beam blocks from the South America pack, recolored. And we've got a big old fig tree up here. So yeah, and we have a little viewing area up here, and as you can see the plaster does elevate up here, and it's because the pathing beneath this is very weird. I don't know if I can show you. Okay, no, the plaster's right on it, but yeah, the pathing doesn't complete. It leaves some terrain exposed, so I had to do some tactical planting, plaster stuff here, and it does mean that the guests have their feet sunken in and they do sometimes walk through the planter, which is a bit unfortunate. But I guess from here, like if you see them looking like that, it looks normal. I did also put these benches in. The guests can't sit on these ones because I couldn't squeeze any actual in-game benches in. But over here, I have these more custom benches, and yeah, I think I've managed to squeeze in some in-game benches. So yet to see people sit on them, but I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will sit on the custom benches. Okay, so let's head over to this side. So we have our restaurant area we made last episode. Little double fence, so if some guy sitting on the glass, if he falls, he'll fall into here. Not here, where the crocodile will bite him. As you can see, I did put a little, what's this called? The blood scent enrichment hidden in this bush, so the crocodile will come over here. They will come to this end. And here's a weird thing that's been happening recently. This is like the third time I've seen this happen personally, and I have seen some other people happen where there's poop on the crocodiles. I don't know how they manage this, but this is a trend among saltwater crocodiles. They get poop on their heads or their backs. It's so weird. Now see, she's coming to check out the scent enrichment too. That's cool. Yeah, so now that just kind of brings them all over here, so they don't only stay on that side. So let's walk over this way. Some better views of the exhibit, some views of the zip line. I like the way this eatery is set up. So if you're sitting here, you can kind of see people coming zipping in. And if you're sitting here, you can just sit and watch people come over the exhibit. So you don't only get a view of the crocodiles, but you get to see people ziplining over. Obviously it doesn't function in game because there aren't any zip lines, but yeah. And this is our ticket place, so come and buy our ticket here. Then what we want to do is we can run over to the other side, this other tower over here. Hop on over this way. and we come over here. So there'll be a staff member sitting over there. Give them our ticket. He puts a harness on us. Then we can hop up, climb up over here. Now the staff member will be up here. They will hook you up and whoosh, go on the zip line. Cool view of the waterfall and the crocodiles. Brake over here and slow down and watch here. And these guys they'll be staff members here. They'll take off your harness and your pulley, and then they'll probably just bring it downstairs, store it there, and every now and again I imagine some staff would have to take some pulleys and harnesses and run over to this side to restock this section here. So yeah, I tried to explain that in the time lapse. I don't think I did that good a job, so hopefully that clarifies some stuff. Also put a little sign here just to solidify that these aren't supposed to be saltwater crocodiles. These are mugger crocodiles. So yeah, I do have some work to do, some more planting and stuff here. Also this area here, some work on once I do the reptile house next episode. Yeah, this should all be complete. Next episode will have a final tour and yeah, do the reptile house and a final tour. I can tell you now there's probably not going to be any time lapse next episode because I'm all going to be doing interior stuff, but I will have progress updates. And next episode I have to get it done before the 25th because that's when all of this is due. You have a backstage area up here. Here's a cool little tower, another angle at it. Only staff can get in, and I did have to sneak in a little water filtration system and a transformer. The park does have power along all of it except for this little corner here, so that's why I had to put the transformer with the water filtration. So yeah, the engineer can come in and fix this stuff if it does break because they're parts attached. Add some windows at the back also. And here's a big old gate, so if we need to get a truck in we can, but otherwise if keepers just need to go in, come in here, plop some meat out. Yeah, it's a cool thing. He's enjoying the sprinkler. This little hose pipe design using the bamboo pieces, I have to give credit to Mars Bandit. He used that. How did you get that on your back? It wasn't there 2 seconds ago. I don't understand. How does this? It's weird. I'm sorry. Mars Bandit did use this, I think, in his llama ranch. He had the hose pipe. Use the bamboo as a hose pipe, hook it up to a sprinkler. So yeah. How does this happen? I looked away for like 2 seconds and you got 3 turds on your back. It's weird. Yeah, I'll put some bushes up. I had to be a little bit careful with the foliage and the rock placement because yeah, there's some narrow corridors. This one too. Turds on the back. Yeah, so you can see the traversable area is kind of cut in by these reeds and some of the rocks, but they can access most of the place. Got a sandbank here for them to chill on. Reeds kind of blocking the view, giving them a little bit of privacy, although I guess it will be people zipping by every now and again, so yeah. Sandbank, more grass. You also got turds on your back. Of course you do. A waterfall over here, some shallow waters here. Really cool, and this is what I wanted. You have like a lot of crocodiles. It wouldn't be as scary if you just had like 2 saltwater crocodiles, which is why I wanted a whole bunch. Feels a lot more life-threatening on the zip line. Mr. Dome is his archer. He's having a real good time, really enjoying himself, as you can tell. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I've got to show for today. Oh, I forgot to. Let's actually see here. Got a little maintenance box up here. Staff members gonna have, if someone has to repair to do something, they have to come all the way over here. They have to jump over this fence and walk along there. But if they need to, they can. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you tune in for the last episode, which hopefully will be out this weekend, at the time of this upload. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. Frontier must be so proud of their poop physics now. Yep, so proud.